this is sort of, to me, is like, how do we move forward now? Because I think Claude, you tweeted this as well, is like about having a leader and having sort of tangible goals. Because for me, it's like you have to you have to keep fighting the systematic things. So for me, when I see a lot of people talking about like the violence being warranted, I agree that if you're like, I've randomly punched something when I'm tight, so I understand why something explodes. But I also point at other movements that have been peaceful and have made change. And so I think the things I would like to see, we need some sort of something to happen in the police department itself, or the police codes or ethics or whatever. I don't know how to change that. I think as humans, we don't do well with power. Like, there's experiments done where they put a group of college kids together. They told one of them they have power, one of them they don't have power. Within a week, they had to stop it. It's the Stanford experiment, if you want to look it up, because of how toxic and evil people got within a week. And they were like Stanford college students. Yeah, so for me, the police thing, I don't know how you fix it other than trying to make everyone more equal. Because when you get a little bit of power, it's going to be bad anyway. And if you get a little bit of power mixed with a little bit of inequality, it gets really bad real fast. So to me, it's like there's that's something you could do tangibly. But the sort of energy and power that's in the protesters right now, like, I want money. Like, let's get our communities better now. Let's march to get that. I want, like, let's not gerrymander anymore so our vote means something. And then then that's what I would be marching for. This is me personally. That's what I would like to see. This is my imagination. Like, we have a leader, we have someone directed. We want a tangible goal. We want these people arrested or charged or processed or whatever. Then we want the changes to be made. And that's systematic changes to the police, systematic changes to the country. And then it's about educating ourselves as a people if we get these changes through. But this is all hypothetical. And I don't want it to be hypothetical anymore.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, and you talked about too, like, going back to the different types of protests that we had. And, like, again, how all this energy, I think I mentioned this to y'all before too, like, humans, we often act on emotion initially, just because that initial reaction is, that's strong. Emotion. You can't, it's hard to control that. And that's what's going on right now. But hopefully once this first wave of initial emotion subsides, like you said, I would like to see something, like, if it's a boycott or if it's some kind of march where we do have the same goals, where, like this was to get those officers arrested, having that same goal, but knowing that
we need a bigger goal than that. And I think,
like absolutely.
You said, the emotion is hard to control, but if you have a leader, I don't want this initial emotion to die down. I want this emotion brought to the voting booth. I want this emotion brought to Washington. Right. I want this emotion in a bill to change things.
Sorry if I don't think if I said die down, you're right. It's not the right way to say it. I think just like that energy taken from this into converted into that, and just having that goal, those same goals in mind, whether it be like a boycott or like, we know this country is a capitalist society, trying to not feed off of that, but like using that knowledge to try and combat what's going on. Or, I don't know exactly how. I'm no policymaker. I'm no, but
those were 3 baby policies that I came up with in 5 minutes. And it's like, I know there are smarter people out there who can cause some real changes. But Claude, what do you feel about this?
It's just, you gotta turn this moment into a movement. You have, because history repeats itself. We've seen this before. Like, you keep seeing the same shit happen. So you gotta figure a way to enact change. And with like a leader or like
when
a
you
march.
Tweet it, but what do you want to see? Because I think that's part of.
I don't want to see niggas dying at the hands of police.
I know, but what do you want to see systematically? That's the question I have for you. I'm not trying to attack you or whatever, but like,
I know, but like
you're saying you want a leader and you want a movement, but what do you want in your movement? I want you to think about that though. because that's part of what happens to people. We have the emotion, like we want a movement, but then we stop there for a second. We can't pause. I want this movement.
Yeah.
It's about how
even
you
if we
convert
pause. Yes. Even if we pause to punch something real quick, like I need to get back on track because I have this energy and this emotion and this movement, and we got to channel it somewhere.
Yeah.
So I wish I could be more rageful. Sometimes I do because I feel like I try to move on too quickly and I try to get to another thing. And I don't know if it sometimes feels cheap to me. But to me, I guess my rage is converted to energy, to what are the literal tangible changes we want. Yes, I want these people arrested, but that's not enough because that's not going to stop it. Get them in prison. Let's get some bread now, and let's get some votes now, and let's get some black people and women, and let's to me, there's like a two-sided thing, and I'm going crazy right now. I'm sorry. There's like a two-sided thing. It's like what we want from them, and then what we have to do as a culture ourselves. But the focus needs to be right now on what we need from them, and we need some money, and we need some changes in the police. Police need to learn how to de-escalate things, and I love police officers. Just disclaimer: I'm a sissy, and I like having people to call when I get scared, but I don't also want to be scared of you. So can we get some de-escalation training, please? Can we get some sort of discussions being had? And then can we change the systematic things? Because we have to start doing that eventually. We're not focusing on the systematic things, which I think needs to be a part of the focus.
Yeah.